Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and this is my review of Super 7 and Funkos ReAction Figures Star Trek Series 1 Spock in 4 minutes or less. The most important thing you need to know about Spock in the entire line of reaction figures is that they are not toys. They are adult collectibles. It says so right on the package. For more information on Super 7 and Funkos ReAction line of figures, click the link in the video description below, or click the annotation right here. Spock's packaging features the Star Trek logo, the Enterprise driving with its headlights on, a prominent character photo, and solid color backing behind the figure. All elements designed to evoke the feeling of nostalgia for the adults who grew up collecting and playing with Star Wars figures in the late 70s and early 80s. The card art, like the entire reaction line, is intended to answer the question, what if? What if they released Star Trek figures in the same style at the same time as the revered vintage Star Wars line? What happens when you take all the various pop culture licenses that have come since and push them through the stylistic lens of that 30-year-old toy line? But this isn't the first time someone's made a Spock action figure. Mego did it back in 1975 as part of their 6-inch line of figures, and then again in 1979 when Star Trek the movie came out. So this isn't even the first time there's been a Spock figure in 3 3/4 inch scale with 5 points of articulation. However, it is the first time that we've seen a 3 3/4 inch scale, 5 point of articulation Spock figure in his original TV show uniform. And that is what the toy collector really wants. TV show Spock, in scale, fitting in with Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, who can ride in a landspeeder without feeling like an anachronism. That is what the toy collector really wants. I have it on good authority. The retro styling of the figure means that while it does look like Spock, it doesn't necessarily look like Leonard Nimoy. But that's part of the charm. The vintage Star Wars figures were simplified versions of the people they were meant to represent, and the reaction line is following suit. All the necessary elements are there for it to feel like Spock without having to have a spot-on likeness, which can be a challenge at this scale, especially back in 1977 when the Star Wars line first came out. While there isn't a ton of detail on the figure by design, he does sport his trademark blue science officer shirt complete with Starfleet insignia and the appropriate rank stripes on his sleeves. 2 unbroken wavy lines means Commander, and the paint apps are actually pretty sharp, especially on those rank stripes. He also comes packed with a tricorder, which I assume won out over the phaser because he is, after all, a science officer first. You're going to have to pick up Sulu and swap accessories if you want Spock to be able to defend himself at range. That shouldn't cause too much of a problem because Sulu should be at the helm of the Enterprise anyway when Kirk and Spock are out exploring alien landscapes. If you're into articulation, accessories, and paint and sculpt detailing, this is just about the easiest pass in the world. Even at $10, there's no reason for you to grab this, especially if you're like me and prefer to open your figures. You're paying for the whole package here. The presentation is part of it. You can open it, but you're going to feel pretty guilty throwing that card away. If you're a Star Trek fan or a collector of pop culture, whether actually retro or just styled as such, then $10 is a pretty great deal for a figure like this. So if you see it, buy it, and if you see 2, leave 1 for the next collector.